Well, in this situation, it is the same thing because they've
Yeah.
all gone to medical school. So unless you need a specialist for like a if someone has a tumor that needs to be removed from their brain, any old doctor isn't necessarily going to be able to take care of it. But
No.
if you need a doctor to take a look at you and prescribe you some kind of penicillin for something that you have, pretty much all of them could do that.
They need Herschel back.
Yeah, he was
Overall,
Well, I
good
mean,
doc. He's a vet, but he was able to use, he was able to perform some surgery. That's
to him. What's the difference between humans and a chicken?
apparently nothing.
A horse.
A horse, a cow, a pig.
Humans are just horses with less legs.
Probably.
So Simon sweetens the pot here to the doctor, says, hey, we've got ice cream. And then as a parting gift, he leaves, I thought this was a very nice gesture, though it's probably meant more as an insult. It leaves them a huge crate of aspirin.
Right.
Like a lot of aspirin.
Well, I feel like Gregory looked like he was going to need that.
Yeah.
After
I mean,
seeing
like,
that.
it's probably past its shelf life, but
Doesn't matter.
that's still, like, that's a good thing. You find aspirin, you take that. They have a huge crate. What they don't, you'd have to think that the saviors need some of that aspirin.
Well, maybe, or you would imagine that they have so much more.
Yeah.
back in the sanctuary.
Yeah. It's a cool gesture,
Yeah.
So I like Simon. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Gregory and Simon, though, they have this one-on-one out in between the trailers. And Simon says that if Gregory experiences...
You said Simon says.
Yeah. If Greg experienced any problems regarding people wanting a change in leadership, that he can come directly to Simon, see him. He gives him the address and says that the guard will let him right in. So this is
It's a VIP. It's a VIP pass.
Yeah, this is in regards to Gregory saying, hey, you got to give me a bone here because my people are not going to be too happy if you take away the doctor. It's going to look bad on my part, and there's going to be some rebellion, and who knows who's going to take over. This was going to be the moment Gregory might have slipped up, but he kept his cool. He didn't say anything.
This is where I feel like Gregory did something that Spencer was trying to do with Negan, and completely succeeded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, completely succeeded.
But, like, what do you think if Gregory shows up to the sanctuary with this little piece of paper saying, Simon sent me?
It says Simon says.
No, Simon sent me. That he'll get out alive? Is this a trap for Gregory? Or is Gregory able to show up? Because
That's a good question.
a few, like last season, they wanted Gregory's head.
That's true.
Given to them at another outpost. Is Gregory really able to go find out where the Saviors live, show up, and complain about what's going on at the hilltop? And I want to see that?
But Simon wasn't even taking care of Hilltop. It was that outpost that was killed off, right?
Yeah.
It's true. They're supposed to be on the edge of they're supposed to be like on eggshells right now. Like, walking on eggshells, Hilltop after, especially what happened to that outpost, because they could be, they're like a suspect and they can't prove to what happened. But, they know what happened, but they can't prove that Hilltop was involved in this. But I guess that's why Alexandria took all the heat for that. So, So that's probably why maybe Gregory, they kind of had the whole water under the bridge right now.
Yeah, but that's the thing, too, is they have to know that the Alexandrians know about the people from the hilltop, right? I mean,
I'm sure they do.
Where did they think that Maggie was going that day that she was sick when everything went down and then their heads got beaten in?
The way you could look at it is, wherever Alexandria's coming from, wherever they're going from Alexandria, they just basically have to cut off every route to go anywhere.
Yeah, but like they're clearly leaving Alexandria.
Yeah, to go
with
somewhere.
Someone sick to go somewhere where they can handle her.
They didn't know she was sick when they were blocking the routes, but yeah,
she looked real sick. And
but she was in the RV the whole time. Like they don't have X-ray vision. They don't see.
No. But when she came out, they got to start putting things together, especially when Rick's like, we got to get her some.
No, but they think she's dead though. But
now they think she's dead.
Yeah,
because they weren't able to get her to a doctor.
Right.
But anyway. The people at the hilltop... No, actually, I'm jumping ahead. We got Daryl in the basement. He almost kills that savior that went in.
That would have been stupid.
Would have been. Very stupid. Maggie holds him back. I mean, he was ready to kill the savior because he thought he was going to find him. But Maggie holds him back. He leaves. We finally get a little talk between the two of them about what happened that night with Glenn. Daryl starts crying, tells Maggie he's sorry. Maggie says it wasn't his fault, and they hug it out.
That was one of the most rewarding things we were looking for in this episode, at least.
Yeah,
they
it was
finally
nice.
confronted each other. It's like, what does she really think? Everybody was all like, when Daryl was being taken away by the Saviors at first, she was like, wait, it's, I guess it's, whether she was pissed at that moment or it was some sort of endearment that she wants him to stay, I don't know, but we know for sure now that had no effect on her in terms of how she thinks of Daryl.
Yeah, time healed those wounds. And then Daryl's been through a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think he's been through the worst, out of all of them right now.
Yeah.
The ones who managed to stay alive.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Carl lost his eye.
Again?
And his mom.
No, I'm talking about with the whole Negan regime, though.
Oh, out of all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if we're gonna go back in terms of what everybody else has been through so far up until now, that's hard to keep score, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking about age, Carl at such a young age has had so much more
trauma
happen to him. So
yeah. He got
he's
shot.
Got it worse.
Yeah, he got shot. Almost died. He was in critical condition.
Yeah.
Lost an eye. Almost lost his hand.
Lost his mother.
Lost his mom. He had to kill her. Actually,
had to kill his other dad.
Right.
Even though he was just a walker.
Yeah, whatever. It's Shane.
It was a whole mess.
That was rewarding, at least, though, when he killed Shane.
Well, no, I found it very disappointing because in the comics he kills Shane. He doesn't kill a walker Shane.
Yeah, but Shane was a different character in the comics. Like, not one to be remembered, not one to be significant.
Still pretty significant because it was the moment that Carl had to become a man.
For Carl, yes. I'm talking about for Shane's character in the comics wasn't a good character.
No, it was a fine character. It's just it wasn't. It
wasn't the same portrayed as what John Bernthal brought. That's for sure.
No, they liked his performance. They kept him. They expanded on the character.
Exactly.
But in the end, his character was supposed to serve the same things it did in the comic, and they messed
I feel like
it up.
Did. Oh, they messed up. I feel like it still served the same thing almost.
No, because Carl didn't kill him, and that was very important.
Yeah,
Carl can kill a walker. It's fine. It's a kid killing a zombie.
But he's already killed a person at this point too. So the
who did he kill?
He killed that kid that was coming from Woodbury. You remember when Woodbury attacked and they were escaping?
But
he
was older, and that was after he would have killed.
Yeah,
Shane.
it was still
that would have been such a nice moment. And they skipped out on it.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway,
big whoop.
Yeah, the people at the hilltop watch on as the Saviors leave with the Doctor. Gregory looks defeated. He knows he's gonna feel the blowback on this.
There's
gonna be a lot of. I actually felt bad for Gregory here. He did a good job portraying someone who had really lost it all.
But he still has an upper hand because then when we get to what happens later on, he feels like he has more hand than anybody else at that point.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He goes back to his. Yeah.
Actually, if anything worse, he's becoming more of a dictator. He was more tyrannical.
Yeah, this is going to be his downfall for sure, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Sasha and Rosita get a car started from an old garage lot, and later are near the sanctuary looking at Eugene through a scope of a rifle.
Funny thing. Thanks to Movie Pilot. I haven't spoken about them in a while, but something really funny. What happened was when they were looking through the scope, somebody noticed they kept the lens cap on the scope.
Oh, really?
They didn't remove it.
Jesus,
that's a pretty okay. I didn't notice, but for those who know guns, which could be a huge part of the population watching the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a detail they should pay attention to.
Just always have the lens cap off. There's no reason to ever have that lens cap.
I don't know. You don't want to dust it every once in a while. I guess that's why it's there. I don't know why else they would put a lens cap. I don't know.
Really diminishes the quality of the show and stuff like that happens.
They did not remove the lens cap, and I really found that funny.
I wish I didn't know. It just makes this episode all that much more worse. I say definitely this is the worst episode of the season.
Yeah,
really nothing happened.
Yeah, it was just you had to watch. It was the last 5 minutes were the most crucial.
Yeah. And
the thing is, you could have gone to the last 2 minutes of the last episode, and then the last 5 minutes of this episode, and that would have been more progression than this entire episode within those 7 minutes.
Yeah, if anything, we got a bit of character building between Sasha and Rosita,
and the reconciliation with Daryl and Maggie.
But I felt like that was already there. We just hadn't seen it.
Exactly.
It's almost
had to
too
be
late.
shown somewhere, right?
It's too late. It's 14 episodes in, and now we're having the talk that they're having. We're 14 episodes after
everything
what
is overdue here. Everything they're like
last week. Maggie, what's her name? Carol just found out about Daryl and about.
We're like it's old news right now. Lori died too. Did you remember that?
Yeah, they have to start filling in characters on things.
Herschel died. Beth died. So let's put them on the same crate now and just move on.
See, we're gonna get Gonzalez back in the next episode, and they're gonna be like, "We have to let you know something. Shane died."
Oh my god, he's gonna be tearing up like crazy.
Yeah, the whole episode's gonna be about Gonzalez and how he reacts to these deaths.
We'll have a montage of them talking, like of them telling, but you don't hear what they're saying. We will have real sound, and just they're going about it, and you're just see reactions of like Gonzalez, just like going wide eyed, and going pacing back and
dropping
forth.
to his knees, slow motion crying.
I don't know if the viewers remember. For those who are listening, if they remember who Gonzalez is,
of course people remember who Gonzalez is. I was just,
okay,
for sure.
Okay.
So, all right, Eugene is walking around by the Walker fence, ordering people around, still with that ridiculous stuffed animal in his pocket. What was the name of that thing again?
Gimplergunk.
He looks like a fool. He's like wearing this large housecoat looking thing. With
people are listening to him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And we see that they've gone through with his idea to pour like the molten metal over the walkers to strengthen them. And I don't really understand how is this strengthening them?
I don't get why they have to have him there. Why do they have to stay there? What is the strategy to it? Are they playing like Hunger Games or something? And be careful with that fence when they back up some more walkers. Yeah, it's supposed to
be like a defense system, like a security system. If anyone tries to break in, we have walkers. But if those walkers are stationary and tied up to the fence, and now
they can't climb the fence, I guess,
and now
with
they have
additional barbed wire at the top.
Yeah, and now they have all this metal over them, so they can't even raise their arms. What's the point?
It's still, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was just for those people who are playing for extra points, who are just wearing those, those ugly jumpsuits.
I guess we're not going to find out what those people in the jumpsuits.
It's a mini Hunger Games. That's what I think.
It's just like it doesn't. Their system doesn't make sense. I know, okay, some people work for points. What are these people in the sweaters with the letters on their back?
Was this in the comics at all? Without spoiling too much?
Not that I know. I don't remember it, but if it was very insignificant.
Okay. So this is something that the show is bringing to the table, and they're not even, expanding.
As far as my memory serves.
Okay.
Sasha asks Rosita now how to make some knots. She's like, I know a bunch of knots, but I don't know those. And it looked like a very simple knot that Rosita
I think even Sasha. I know to do that knot.
Yeah. So anyway,
maybe she's just trying to make conversation, and that's leads to their next touching conversation, supposedly touching conversation.
Yeah, so they bond over this. Rosita talks about
bond like knots. They tie the knots.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tie the knot. Rosita
this is what they want to show.
Yeah. They want a chance for Rosita to talk about all the guys in their life and how none of them thought, this is after the apocalypse, thought that she could protect herself, but secretly, David, she was mastering all of their skills, watching them. One guy's really good at tying knots. She's learning those knots. Someone else is
she
really
got
good
pregnant. I'm kidding.
Well, pregnant?
Tying knots, get it?
No. Tying the knot means you're getting married.
That too.
It doesn't mean getting pregnant.
I thought it was getting pregnant as well.
No, that's getting knocked up.
Okay.
No knots.
That's very blunt.
Well, it's just a fact.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's mastering all these skills, and then she uses them up and ditches them because she moves on once she mastered what they can do. But it wasn't that way with Abraham.
No. With Abraham, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. She's upset that she never got the chance to tell Abraham that she was happy, that he was happy.
That's the reason why they're there.
Yeah. That is everything.
That is the climax. That is the reason why.
Yeah, that's the reason why they need to do all this.
Yeah, that is the final moment of why Rosita still feels like she has to kill Negan is because I never got to tell Abraham that I'm happy that you're happy, and that's why Negan has to die, not because he was killed by Negan or killed Glenn. That's the reason. That is a sentimental reason, and she hasn't told anybody, and now all the viewers know, and Sasha knows.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more to it than that, but this really seems like what we're taking away from it. It's strange. She asks if Sasha was happy. Sasha was happy.
Yeah,
so that's good because Sasha, was always, she was lying in a pit of walkers at one point, wanting to give up on life. So it's nice. I just don't buy it.
No, Sasha, I don't think anybody does.
No, Sasha and Rosita see that they've taken Carson back. that doctor, and
with the scopes, the lens caps on.
Yep. And Negan comes out to greet them, but they can't get a clean shot.
Which they did for like a couple seconds. If you were a good sniper, you could get that shot. You could,
but there wasn't the time to do it.
But you know, the thing is, because at some point I think Eugene, if you didn't want to shoot Eugene, I get that, but he was behind someone else's head, and a sniper easily goes